Hello students, welcome back. Today let us understand the tools for economic analysis. The very first things being that we are going to look at today is variables and functions. Variables are called variables because they vary and they have different values. In the subject of mathematics, variables use letters from the end of the alphabet, whereas in economics, the first letter of the item generally denotes the variable. For example, P for price, S for supply, D for demand, and so on. So let us today understand what is a variable.
The theories in economics often use variables to explain the economic activities and to arrive at conclusions. An economic model also uses variables, which is a simplified representation of the real world phenomenon. The real world phenomena are often volatile and dynamic. For example, law of demand is used to understand the relationship between price and quantity demanded. A variable can be explained as something whose magnitude can change or can take on different values. Now, variables frequently used in business economics are price, profit, revenue, cost, investment, savings, etc. The variables are often represented by a symbol. Variables are of two types, an endogenous variable and an exogenous variable. An endogenous variable is a factor that generally influences from within. It is generally under the control of, say, a single consumer, a single producer, a single firm, or even a single industry. An exogenous variable, on the other hand, is an external factor which is not under the control of a consumer or a producer or a firm or even an industry. For example, a war situation, a crisis situation, a natural calamity, a disaster, or even a pandemic which is affecting the economic performance of an economy. For example, the theory of value determines the equilibrium price. In this model, the price and quantity demanded and supplied are usually considered as endogenous variables. However, there are a number of exogenous variables like consumer preferences, prices of related products, input cost, advertisements, government policies. All these are exogenous or external factors, but they definitely influence the three important variables of price, quantity demanded, and quantity supplied.
Let us now move ahead and understand another tool. The next most important tool that is generally used in economic analysis is called as the function. A function is determined by two variables, a dependent variable and an independent variable. So let us now look at what is a function.
A function is a mathematical relationship in which the values of single dependent variable are determined by the values of one or more independent variable. Function means dependent variable is determined by the independent variables. A goal of economic analysis is to determine the independent variables which explain certain dependent variables. For example, what explains the changes in employment, a change in consumer spending, change in business investments, etc. We may look at functions algebraically or graphically. If we use algebra, we look at equations, but if we use geometry, then we use graphs. A simple example of a functional notation would be something which is given below. Like, for example, the number of pizzas demanded, the price of pizza, the price of tomato sauce, the price of cheese, the price of pizza dough, and the number of potential pizza eaters. This is an example of a function that says that the price of pizza not only depends upon the prices of tomato sauce, cheese and pizza dough, but there is one dependent variable, that is the price of pizza, and three independent variables, that is the price of tomato sauce, cheese and of course the pizza dough.